You're right.
A border inspector has been reassigned after he let that tuberculosis patient back into the United States. Despite a federal order, Andrew Speaker was allowed to go into the U.S. within minutes. The border agent said Speaker didn't look sick. Representative Bennie Thompson is a Democrat from Mississippi, chairman of the House Homeland Security Committee. And I know, Representative, you have scheduled a hearing into this TB scare and the federal response to it. Great to have you with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Let's recap here. And we have the video of this particular border crossing. It reportedly was a random stop that Andrew Speaker's car got picked. The border agent goes over. He sees that Andrew Speaker's passport has been flagged, sees the warnings, and decides to let Speaker in anyway. Apparently, he thought the warning was just discretionary. What's your reaction to that?
Well, as you know, it was not discretionary. The agent did not have the authority to do what he did. That part of the Border Patrol system failed. And what we want to do is look at it from our committee's perspective to see what it is we can do to help the department get it right. This was not getting it right. It failed. It was wrong.
You know, the union for the border agents says, look, they don't receive training on enforcing health issues and looking out for sick patients. My question is, why does that matter? If the order on the computer pops up, don't let this guy in, put your mask on and hold him, why wasn't that order obeyed?
Well, clearly the order went out. The question is whether it was timely enough. It was there. The border guard should have performed his duties. He sworn to do that. He did not do it. The other issue is whether or not our disease control system notified other partners in time. The no-fly zone is an issue in terms of the terrorist watch list. That's a problem. Which list it went on. Whether or not the Canadian authorities were notified in Montreal.
Well, and now we're hearing that they weren't notified. We heard that from the Border and Customs Deputy Commissioner, that they didn't notify Canada because they didn't think that the Speaker was going to come into Canada and then into the United States.
Well, you know, all this, we didn't think those kind of things. Our system does not allow for that. When a situation like this is notified, all parties are put on notice. And what we have to do with our hearing is to go through all the procedures that occurred, as well as compare them to what the law requires. I think you'll be well informed to come and oversee the hearings, look at the questions that get asked. We'll have people from Homeland Security, Center for Disease Control, and others.
Because I know you've got to be having a lot of the same questions I am. I'm sitting back here and go, look, here's Andrew Speaker, who, other than this instance, it seems like a good, upstanding member of society. Went to the Naval Academy, worked for a couple of district attorneys. He didn't mean anybody any harm, and he feels bad about it. What happens when somebody does want to harm us and comes in with Ebola or smallpox?
Well, that's a vulnerability. Clearly, we knew all these things, and yet instead this gentleman was able to get back into the country virtually undetected, in the sense that we're not stopping. What we now have to ask in our hearing on Wednesday is what are the protocols to prevent this from happening again in this situation. And obviously, if someone was coming in undetected, how could we possibly pick that individual up? So there are a lot of questions we have to answer from our committee hearing. We look forward to it. But like you and a number of others, Contessa, this situation should not have happened. There has to be accountability between all federal agencies involved, and we look forward to getting to the bottom of it at this hearing.
Well, Congressman Thompson, I hope you get the straight truth, and I hope that you're able to go on and do something about it, and I appreciate your time today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Could this underwater